Welcome back, everyone. Today we are taking an in-depth look at the brand new Super 7 Ultimates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael figure. Last year we put in our pre-orders. It's been very exciting to wait for these. I got to see this whole first wave in person at New York Comic Con last year when they were on display at the Super 7 booth. That was very exciting. I liked what I saw then, and I liked what I see right now, right in front of me. Let's take a look at the slipcover before we take that off. Really awesome, glossy, but also has like grooved, and it like actually has texture to it. It's like a manhole cover slash. It's got the Raphael size and the angry looking turtle face. That is really, really cool. And then on the back, it has that classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo on the back there. And on the top, it's got the Ultimates. I would say that this must be like what they're going with for the Ultimates line symbol, or like kind of their font and stuff, like what the asset they chose for the Ultimates line. Let's take this slipcover off now. And I just want to say, some of the coolest Ninja Turtle packaging that I've seen in a long time. I liked the NECA box set of all the turtles with that looks like the VHS and stuff. That's cool, but I do really enjoy the creativity put into this. You know, like the graffitied brick wall, sewer walls, I guess. Like the cool vents. The bottom here is all like a different textured look. And then on the back, it's got like some extras all strewn about there, electrical box, which is cool. And then it's got Raphael's bio on there. Raphael, the witty voice of the Turtles. Raphael is a hot-headed and most opinionated, impulsive, and restless Ninja Turtle. Raphael loves nothing more than to test himself in battle and trains for the sheer enjoyment. He's usually the one to leap into action, and nearly impossible to get him to back down. I would say that's a pretty good size up of Raphael. He is the hothead, and just looking at the figure inside, they do a really good job of kind of like showing you everything that you get along with this picture, or along with this figure. And it's very, very cool. Like the window box like method that they've chosen for this. Let's rip this guy out of the packaging and let's look at the toy. That's what we're all here for, right? All right. It's definitely not a full day later since I opened the box, but I just wanted to get a little bit of time with this figure and kind of examine it fully and fully intake everything that this figure has to offer. Because we have been waiting a very long time for these figures to come out, and I think that the wait is definitely worth it. Was definitely worth it, because these figures are incredibly well done. They are incredibly detailed. They have a really awesome translation from the original figures into this new modern 8-inch, 7-inch kind of Ultimates format that they've created. Just wanted to go over everything right away about this figure, and he moves pretty well. I like the articulation a lot. The look of the figure is pretty awesome, and I gotta say, I think that this really is everything that I was hoping for out of like a Ultimate Super 7 kind of based off the toys action figure of the Turtles. This is my definitive type of turtle figure, and I would say that it's like the perfect fit for me, at least. There are people that think that the movie Turtles are their definitive Turtles and the cartoon NECA Turtles are their definitive Turtles. But for me, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been patient for, and this is why I haven't been killing myself at Target to hunt down the NECA stuff. So I've been very excited now that it's finally here. Let's get into the articulation first. Let's start out with legs and articulation and everything. So let's point out some of the interesting aspects of this is that he's got this whole other separate pelvis joint. So he can have this side-to-side motion back and forth, so he can kind of get crouched down really low, which is really nice for posing. Especially Raphael, he kind of has like, I feel like a lot of the same type of poses and stuff that you do for like a Wolverine or something like that is what you'd kind of do for Raphael as well. And with the it's got the forward and back swivel motions because it's got the hinge with the ball swivels here at the top of the thigh, and that creates like a really wide and good stance. There's almost no hindering of the bottom of the shell here, so you can get like a really nice low stance, and that looks really cool. The shell, the soft shell here is of like out of this softer rubber, so that is cool. That was something that I really liked about those the 2003 turtles, is that they had like squishy chests, and so I think a lot of the turtles since then have had kind of something similar. Even the Nicktoons turtles have like something like that, so that's pretty cool. Ankles here for like rocker joint as well, which is nice. Again, you get those wide stances, which is really nice, and he does stand very well for having. He has, obviously he's very back heavy, but you can still get like good stances out of him and not have to worry about him falling over, because he's got these very, very large feet, turtle feet, to help him stand, so that's good. Going into the arms, so same kind of the same articulation that you'd expect out of the Ultimates figures. Bicep here at the elbow, and there is an extra joint here for swiveling at the elbow, which is nice, and then side to side, and there's different sets of hands, but it's usually the wrist up and down, and then they do have another wrist articulation, which is nice with the different set of hands. That was a smart move on their part. I do appreciate that. And then of course the ball joint at the top of the head, and it's nice that he has two. It's the peg inside, so it's the two double-sided ball peg, so it has a really nice range of motion, and you have him hunched down and have him look up. So lots of awesome posing abilities with this figure, which is really nice. Getting into the sculpt a little bit, I do like, this is something that's very nice. I want to talk about the shell. The shell is really, really cool. He's got his, I think that it's kind of normal now for Raph to have like these battle scars on his shell, and I think that's really cool. And the patterning on the shell is also really, really awesome. And then all the muscle sculpture is really well done. The veins in there, like that's so, those original turtles, like the bulging muscles with the veins and everything coming out of them and stuff. And then he's got the wrinkles on the top of his head, which is really nice. I do really appreciate the teeth. That is something that's super, super reminiscent of the original turtle figures, which is great. Like, that's so awesome to see. His little turtle fingernails and toenails are great. Also, like a little bit different shade of green, which is great. The paint application on these is awesome. A little bit of like a warmer yellow spray in the middle there, painted R. There is some like metal kind of like brushing rub on there a little bit, which looks cool. The sculpt of the belt is also really awesome. Some subtle paint on the belt, which is really nice. For this head and the spare one, which I'll here it is, but we'll also get into it a little bit more deeper later. I just wanted to get this out of the way. The heads, at least with the other head, this spare head, the paint, I could actually scrape it off with my thumbnail. So that is a bit of like a disappointment. These aren't the type of toys that are gonna get heavily played with and stuff. So, they're already figures that you're handling with a certain type of careful mindset going into it. But I just wanted that to be known, is that the paint, I don't know about this. I haven't tried it because this is like the perfect head for it. Just let that be known that maybe some of the paint on the headbands and some of the heads might not stand up to the fingernail test. So let that be known. Going into some of the other tiny aspects of this is that all the pads on his elbows, his wrist, even the end of the band here, they're all like a softer rubber, which is really cool. It's also a good idea because with the articulation, there's little to no hindrance with the elbow and knee bending. So that is also really nice. His accessories. So Raphael has a lot of them. So let's start with the ones that he has on his belt, actually. These are the ones that he comes with in the box. These are actually in his size sheaths right out of the box in a nice gray molded plastic with painted handles. Then we have a set of more metallic painted ones, and they also have black painted handles. One of mine got a little bent up, and I think I can fix it. I think if I just heat it up a little bit, I can get it straight. But I just wanted to leave it like it was for the purposes of this video. Moving on to he's got these like kunai type things, but they're really more just kind of for like a stabbing. And we got this one, and then both of these are classic. And then we have the like handled dagger. And I will say that on the brown like wrapped handled ones, they have a brown wash over there. So it brings out all the nice wrap details on there. And then Raph has the sheath for the handled kunai right there. And that's really cool. Again, love that it's subtle. Like now that I have all the lights on there, there's like a little bit of paint on, it's like maybe like dry brushing on the strap there. And that's really cool. Fits in there really nice too. Won't fall out. And then let's move on to his, like, it's like a hook sword situation, but this is the classic design from the original figures. I'm sure we had a bunch of these floating around in our Turtles cases and bags and bins and whatever back then. But this painted it makes it look pretty cool. Also, it's just nice to have extra weapons included with these figures. It makes you feel like you're getting more for your money, or you need the accessories to justify how much you're paying for. Let's move on to the Shuriken, 2 Ninja Sword, or Ninja Star. And these actually do fit in the fingers. So you can do this like in the middle of his fingers, or like the classic, you can have his finger and thumb pinch there. And that looks really good. Looks pretty cool with it in his hands like that. We also have a incredible slice of delicious pepperoni pizza, and it has this nice gloss over the paint on the top there, so, and then a nice matte on the bottom, so it has that nice gooey cheese. And the piece of pizza actually does fit in Raph's hand. There's a nice bit of play in the hands, and we'll get to the whole extra sets in just a second. But his hands are really nice. They hold the accessories really well. Like with the Shuriken, holds all of his size really well, holds all the daggers and the kunai really well. So that is a definite plus with this figure. I do it. It's also nice to have. It seems like all Turtles now need to come with a slice of pizza so that they can make almost a full pizza when they are all together. So that's a fun little Easter egg too. And then finally, we got the Turtle Phone, and we have the open and closed versions. This is cool that it comes with like almost everything that you would want, at least the first turtle in this line to come with, as many accessories as possible and as many styling options as possible, which brings me to the hands and head. The head here, I switched it out, is the other expression, and like I'll bring it up again, but the paint does feel a little fragile, so that is something that to definitely, maybe we can see a little bit better here, kind of see it on the top of the headband there. So it could be just this one too, so you never know. I wanted to get into the head a little bit, so it does have like a little bit darker of a green spray, or maybe like a black spray. You can tell that there's like a little bit of like muscle airbrushing kind of throughout the whole figure, and there is not so much on the toy head, but more on this. And it kind of has the, I guess it looks a little bit like the current IDW cartoons and or comics, sorry. And it also kind of gives me the 2003 Turtle vibes. Like, at least from the cartoon, they kind of like had this look to them a little bit, like the head did. So that is really cool. I like those toys as well as the original ones. So I know that there were some people that weren't sure about that other head, but for me personally, in my opinion, I do like it. Let's get into the hands. So there are horizontally and vertically hinged closed hands. But you see 3 sets of closed hands here, and that would be because one set is actually opened up a little bit there. Now let's see if you can tell the difference here. So one of the sets of hands is kind of more tightly closed, and then the fingers are closer together. That would be to hold some of the swords and maybe the kunai, stuff like that, the pizza. And then this one has a little opening into the fingers, and anyone who's a big fan of Raph knows exactly what that's for. It's for this. Oh, how cool is that? And I thought this would be a good way to show you how to switch out the hands. As you can see here, those are very tiny pegs. That is probably one of the only things besides that paint, the delicate paint, I would say is like my only like kind of moment I've had with this toy so far, is that it just feels like if you're gonna move the peg, at least on mine, they're a little tight because they do have that like ratchet kind of situation. So I take the hand off first, and then I kind of adjust it, and then I put it back on because I'm not sure. I don't know how strong that plastic is, and I don't know how strong it will hold up. So it does come out and off pretty easy, but also it's not like, what is he doing? Don't do it. It does fit pretty well, so it fits in there nicely. And then check that out with the sai in his hand. That looks pretty cool. And then his range of motion with it is surprisingly good too, so you can kind of get that like super edgy turtle pose. And yeah, it comes out pretty easy. So, and it's a nice way to tell the difference between the hands too. And then he has an open set as well, so that can hold the phone, and that can hold, if you want it to have like his hand more open and hold the pizza, you can do that too. When I was taking pictures of him and messing around and stuff, I was getting all kinds of different like ideas of what you can do with the open and closed hands and stuff like that. So great sets of hands. I do like those. And then finally, for the accessories, it comes with the original style weapons rack in that weird brown plastic color that we had, and it's pretty nostalgic to see something like this again in this kind of form with this kind of turtle and stuff. So it really does hit all the hallmarks and of that kind of classic Turtles line, and it is cool because you could actually like take a cuticle clippers or a Gundam. If you're a Gundam builder, you can take your clippers and clip these out, and then you can have them have your turtles displayed with like the correct toy colors if you want, or the metal looking painted ones, or the more muted colored metal plastic, and so that's it. Options, like there's tons of options with this figure, which is really nice. It is cool to see that this line is kicking it off pretty well. That's it for the accessories, all really, really well done. Next, I want to put Raph side by side with some of the other recent Raph figures. Now we get to compare this Raphael to some other figures in some different lines. So let's start out with Toxie from Super 7, the Toxic Crusaders Toxie Ultimate. And I think that they look pretty awesome standing next to each other. That's super cool. Do really, really like how they scale up with each other. All right, and then we'll get him out, and let's put a foot soldier from this same line, the new foot soldier from Super 7 Ultimate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Get him to stand. Now, of course, the vintage looking one, where the vintage one was hunched over and kind of had like a more crouched ninja position. These are standing upright, so they are going to be way taller than the turtles, and they look pretty great together too. Just a really great amalgamation. Again, it's like a really great translation of the original toys into this new format of action figures that we're all expecting in this new age of action figures. So they look really cool together. I am going to do a more full-length review of the foot soldier later on. Let's put them next to NECA's cartoon style foot soldier, and I actually don't mind that. So if you just bought a bunch of these online or something, and then you want something more like this for your turtles, I think that this would actually work. I don't mind that. I don't mind the way that they look together. That's pretty cool. The Playmates Bebop and Rocksteady next to this guy. Like, I do really like these figures, and I think that they fit kind of well with the cartoon turtles from NECA because of the way that they're hunched over and stuff. Raphael actually stands taller than them. Almost? Kind of, yeah. Take his helmet off, and yes. But they still look pretty good together. So, if you have like a mishmash of different ones like I do, you just go with what you like. Again, I already pre-ordered the Bebop and Rocksteady for this new one because I am way excited, and I didn't jump on the cartoon ones because I was like, well, the Super 7 ones are coming out, and I'm more into that, so that's where I'm gonna be. That's where I'm gonna put my turtle money. And then of course I had to put Raph next to Raph. This is our Super 7 alongside the NECA cartoon turtle. Like for this one, I like the shading and like the lines and everything. That's cool if you're like into the cartoon look. A lot of people are, and a lot of people are clamoring for that. But again, like this appeals so much more to me. I like that classic turtle toy look is just so good. Also, I'm in the camp. I don't know if this is like a thing or not. I don't know if anyone cares or not, but like, I prefer my turtles with no pupils. No pupil turtles, blind turtles. Now let's put him next to the movie turtle. Oh, okay, yeah. He's taller than, the movie Raph is taller than this cartoon Raph, or this toy Raph. They look pretty cool next to each other. I think that you could have like I'm going to have multiple setups. Like this is for the movie stuff. This is the movie shelf, and then this is the Ultimates turtles. But yeah, I do like these two turtles next to each other. That's pretty cool. Well, guys, there you have it. The Super 7 TMNT Ultimates Raphael figure, and I think I've gushed enough about this toy in this review to maybe, and shown off enough of this toy that maybe you can kind of get a good gauge of if this is the line that you want to jump in on and stuff, because I get it. It's like, this is, especially with how Super 7 does everything, I like it. I appreciate it. I like to just pay and forget it and just like wait for them to come in. The easier the better for me, and then also it also really helps that these figures are awesome to me. This is so awesome. I love the foot soldier and I love Raph. I am really excited for this line. I appreciate that Super 7 is putting as much effort as possible into these toys, and they're also listening. They have listened to criticism, they have listened to fans and their ideas, their notes, their stuff like that, and they have taken that into consideration. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you appreciated this review, please leave a like. It always helps, blah, blah, blah. Thanks again, guys. Until next time, have a good one.